Hello YouTube, welcome to the RideOn2 Garage. I am Chris. This is the co-star of the show, my ZX6R, which we're making into a track bike. This is episode 3 of the build series, so if you missed 1 and 2, you might want to go back and check them out. Other than that, let's roll that intro and let's get to work. So as mentioned in the previous episode, we have to replace the stator cover. It got a little banged up in the crash, and I've been told that once the bike warms up it does start to leak. I was just going to leave it because, hey, it's a track bike, doesn't have to look pretty, but if it's leaking, that's no good. So got a kick-ass one made by Woodcraft, has replaceable skid plate that goes on right here, so then you don't have to replace the whole cover next time, just the skid plate, provided you have to. Hopefully we never do. So let's get to work, take this all out. I've already drained the oil and everything, so we don't have to worry about anything inside here. So by looks of it, we need to start with, it looks like an 8. I could be wrong. Okay, we got the cover off. I cleaned up this decently. I'm going to do it again yet. Now I'm covering this over because I want to scrape all along inside here. Get rid of all the old silicone and gasket goo. Get that as clean as possible before we put the new one on. This is something I should have done first before I took that cover off. I need to get this hose out of the way so I can clean that surface off better before installing the new gasket. And I have to drain it anyway to fill it up with straight water, so this is not a big deal. Just to give you an idea of why gravel's falling out everywhere, look at that. It's just crammed right up in there. I don't want to push it out now because it's just going to fall onto here. I should have taken this thing to the car wash and hosed the whole thing down. You spend a bit more time cleaning there, inside here, which you probably can't see because of the bad camera angle. down here, and a little bit more here. Just to make myself happy. See the difference between them? This is the one I wiped down really well. There's a bunch of crud like right around in here in the threads. This just seems to be like a dark stain of oil. Other than that, it looks pretty clean. So it's not that dark stain's not really coming out throughout there. But there's a lot of crud in the threads right here when I do not want to put back in there. So I'm making sure I'm wiping that out really well. When I took this apart, there was no thread lock on these, but it does call for it. And I messaged my guy and he said to use it. So I'm gonna take these out, put some thread lock on, and then put her back together again. Okay, so now we gotta silicone this back in. This little wire retainer in there, if you were paying attention, I actually had that in upside down, is sitting up on top of here. I quickly realized what I was doing wrong because it wasn't sitting down low enough. So like this would never ever sit flush. So that was definitely no good. It would have leaked massively. So yeah, make sure you got this in the proper way. So now I'm going to start applying my gasket. I'm going to start on the engine because I had this silicone in already once, and every time it hangs it just pulls back out again. It'd be nice if I had something to sit it on, but I don't. So I'm just going to let it do its thing, and I'm going to put a little bit of silicone around here, stick on my gasket, then I'll silicone this, put it on. Before I start siliconing, I'm just going to make sure that this surface is perfect, good to go, because I don't want to try cleaning it after there's silicone on there for sure. I think we're good. Okay, so I just about torqued these down and I realized I forgot all about these pins. They gotta go in right there and right about there. So I have to take these back out, pull this back off, put the pins back in, put it back together again. Let that be a warning to you guys to not do that. Torquing these down, it calls for 87 inch-pounds. Remove the other side of the bike to work on the crankcase cover. I'm going to leave all these rad hoses off for now because I want to, there's still antifreeze in here. I want to get it all out because it's supposed to be all flushed out. It's supposed to be just water. I want to make sure I do that properly. So yeah, I'm going to leave that for now. But maybe what I'll do is cover them opening so none of this gravel that keeps falling off this bike gets into these holes. Okay, so this is our woodcraft crankcase cover. So if we line it up to where it's going, you can see we need to take these 3 bolts out right here. It came with new bolts. So it's going to make up for the extra depth here. So if you notice, it comes with 2 different sizes. And if you're wondering why, you can see the depth of this one is much greater than these 2. So obviously longer bolt will have to go here. I've read ahead and it said I don't need any Loctite in these ones, any thread lock. Oh yeah, this side is way easier than the other side. It's asking for 20 Newton meters of torque. And I think I just fucked that bolt up. These bolts are way too soft. I can't even crank them up to where they're supposed to be and they're just stripping. Okay, so I took these 3 bolts out, which are these ones. Woodcraft supplied some, they're in the car right now, but the metal was way too soft. As soon as I put it all back together and I tried torquing it down, which the specs ask for 20 Newton meters of torque, I couldn't even get them tightened down and it was stripping the heads. The metal was way too soft. So I had to go to Fastenal to buy some new bolts. And all I needed was 3 bolts and I had to buy a whole box. So there was $40 I didn't really need to spend. Thank you very much, Woodcraft, for that one. Try this again. Crank it up to 20 Newton meters. There we go. Crank down. 3. Excellent. So there's project 2 of 3 done. Crank back down to 0. Okay, so we got crankcase cover done. Finally. Now we're going to move on to the rear sets. We're going to ditch these passenger pegs because I'm not going to be taking any passengers. There's a cotter pin here we have to undo. You can see that pegs are definitely going to end up a little bit higher than where they used to be. This is the switch that activates your brake light. These new parts don't accommodate those. I don't know if I'm doing this right. I'm just kind of piecing it together the way it looks. The instructions Woodcraft gives you isn't the most detailed. They show no pictures, which would be helpful. Now they are somewhat adjustable. As you can see, the threaded hole is offset, which is the center hole here. And then there's a little pin to go inside one of these little holes. I think since I'm such a long-legged person and I'm nowhere near drag a knee yet, I'm going to put them at a little bit lower. And then later on, if I want to, I can put them up. There, that's what it's supposed to look like. Now we have this left over, which I don't know what we're going to do with. Probably just tie it up. Maybe if I chase the wire up, I can just unplug it wherever it's in. So let's go around to the other side of the bike. I'm leaving this all loose for now. It's all going to be Loctited down. I'm just fitting it all together, make sure I have all the parts. And then I have to look up torque specs and whatnot in case these have to be torqued down. So let's go to the other side. These nuts here are to lock this into place. Now, one side is reverse thread, and that is so you can adjust your shift lever. So if you back those two off and then you just turn this, it's going to make a fool out of me because it hasn't been used in a long time. Here we go. Free up, free up. So yeah, you just turn this and you can see the shift lever is actually dropping. So if you want it lower or higher, then you just crank these nuts back in to keep it where you want it. Right now we want it off. So just crank it right out. That package is pretty much empty, which is why we got this additional package. Good thing the guy that I ordered this stuff from knows what he's talking about, because I would have assumed that everything would have been the first package. I don't know if I told you, but obviously this bike's been wiped out on the side, and my main reason for changing these, I would have just went with these for now until I actually had to change them, but the clutch lever, or shift lever, sorry, was broke off in the crash, and they just did a quick fix where they just kind of put a bolt through, a little bit of rubber on it. It works, but it is so short. Like, to get my foot down underneath here is such a pain in the butt. It would not be fun to try to do on a track, that's for sure. So I've like, just change them, get rid of them now. So the reason why I went with woodcraft is because of the replacement parts. I looked into the Vortex ones. They were cheaper out of the gate, but like a replacement peg, like this guy here, it was almost hard to find. Like, it was actually, we couldn't find them at all. Whereas like the replacement peg for these ones were like 20 or 30 bucks. We need this bolt. So that's why I went with the woodcraft, and yes, it cost more right out the gate to buy the woodcraft. So anyway, I figure in the long run, if this thing ever were to go down and were to bust a peg off, instead of buying a whole new set of rear sets, I just have to buy a peg. So then at that point, I would have made the right decision. If by chance it never goes down or I never break a peg off, then probably could have got away with the Vortex ones. I wouldn't say it's an inferior product by any means. To me, it was just I couldn't get the replacement peg. So if I ever did need it, I would have been in trouble. There's a lot of gunk all over the whole left side of this bike. All through here, all through here. And the reason being is they did a decent job of keeping their chain lubed, but what they didn't do was clean it off between lubings. So two problems with that is you get big buildup on there, which gathers dirt and whatnot, as you can see on this chain. Gets flung off all around your engine. Inside here is going to be nasty. I'm going to have to get that off, clean it out for sure. Second problem with it is because you're spraying oil on top of oil, your new oil is not getting down to lubricate where it needs to get to because there's too much to go through. So you have to clean the old stuff off, then put your new stuff on. They did not do that. Now I'm running into the problem that I foreseen coming. boat over here. This is the rod that he gave, shift rod he gave me. See, it's female on both ends. This that came with the woodcraft set is also a female. And in this kit, he gave me, there's a second shift rod, but it's, okay, so it's threaded on both ends. It works here, it doesn't work here. And they did send me another one of these, but it is also threaded, which works with this, but not with this. So hopefully I can go back to my original shift rod. Which looks like I can. But I'm gonna have to change this end off of the original. This guy. I'm gonna take this off of here. That's riveted on. Oh, we don't. We replace this one. This is why we finger tight everything the first time. There we go. So we got one bolt longer than the other. If you look closely at this one, you probably can't see from that angle. There's more threads on this side than this side. I'm going to assume this one is shorter, so that when it swings down it doesn't hit the push rod. So I actually need to reverse these two bolts around. There we go. So now it's still 1 down, 5 up. But if you wanted it to be 1 up, 5 down, which a lot of people use on the track, all you gotta do is just take this off, put it on the top, and then readjust for your length. Now I still have to torque all these down, yes I know. But I don't know the torque specs right off the top of my head. I have to actually physically go look those up, which I'm gonna do when I go in the house. What else came with these caps too? They're just thin, so you just shove them in. Fills that hole. I'm not gonna do that right now because it'll be a pain in the butt to get them out. And I don't want to do that yet. So yeah, I gotta torque all these down. I know I have to thread lock them all. Blah blah blah. That's it. That's the gist of it. That's how you get them together. We'll torque them down in the next episode when I look up the numbers. That's all I'm going to do for today. I'm running out of parts really quickly. I still have the Vortex frame sliders to put on over here, but what I'm going to do is wait until the race fairings are here because I have to actually cut holes for the pucks to come through. So I want to wait till all that's here before I go at that. And that's basically where I'm at. I'm waiting on my race fairings. So that's what next episode will be. We're gonna mount the race fairings whenever they get here. I don't know how long it's gonna be, so if there is a delay, that's what's causing it. It's not my fault. So yeah, then we'll get them all fitted. Once they're fitted, we'll have to take them back off. We're gonna paint them. Gotta fix this dent up here in the tank, which you've seen before. Oh, so then once we're done to paint, then we'll start going down our checklist of everything that the bike needs to be on the track. A lot of the stuff that we're doing is part of that requirement. Stuff like this isn't necessary. We're doing it because I had to. We started draining the antifreeze. That's got to be just water. The headlights, tail lights, mirrors, all that stuff have to be gone. They're going to be. Kickstand has to be either tied up or removed. We've removed it. So we're getting a lot of stuff checked off the list. We'll go over that next time, or maybe the time after. Next time might just be fitting and mounting the race plastics. I don't know yet. We'll see how it goes. Some of this stuff is a lot more time consuming than I anticipated. I'm sorry about that. It's a slow process. I was hoping it wouldn't be. I didn't think it would be. I thought it would be like 10-15 minutes to put this on. This took way longer than I thought. And to be honest, I wish I had been a lot more careful because I didn't realize all that dirt was up in there. So I should have taken this all apart. Like take all these hoses, taken all this other piece of plastic that was here. Should have taken all that off right from the get-go. I didn't. I was trying to save myself a step. I kind of regret that now. So if you're doing that, I would remove all this stuff. Thanks for tuning in to episode 3 of my track bike build series. If you're not subscribed, please do, and then you'll know when episode 4 hits the waves. Don't forget to hit that little bell up in the top corner, then you'll get a notification when it does hit. Fingers crossed that those race plastics are ready this week. They're supposed to be. I can be found on Instagram at ride_on2. I can be found on Twitter at RideOn2. Remember my 3 rules. Ride safe, have fun, keep the shiny side up. But for now, peace out. Talk later. Bye. See you guys next time.